An actually honest review of the Youthforia foundation. We're going to dive into it. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. I'm Britt. I created the Style Shaker. I try all these products out for you so you have a better idea of what to buy and what not to buy. I am going to remove the foundation I currently have on my face and then replace it with the Youthforia so we can talk through the entire scorecard. I purchased this product. The brand is not paying me to say the following. No one is paying me to say the following. You're getting my honest review as always over here. If you like that kind of thing and you want to keep seeing more of it, don't forget to hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds and it makes a huge difference over here. And as I'm going through the review, leave a comment on whether or not you've tried this product or any of the others that I mentioned in the video. I have shade 230, by the way, in this. If you're a subscriber, then you have already seen me play with the product. I just haven't done a full review yet, so I wanted to do that for you. There are 15 shades available, and it's right around $48. It is $48. I'm gonna prime like I normally would. Today I'm gonna use the Saie sun visor underneath, just to prep the skin. This is not an oil-based formula, and this is not an oil-based foundation, so I wanted to do like ingredients here so I don't get any pilling or pulling or give you kind of a weird review because of that. So speaking of ingredients on this one, and by the way, I'm going to test it against the Saie and another favorite towards the end of the video so you can just kind of get a comparison if you're still on the hunt. But the ingredients here, 68%, and I quote, of what's inside is skincare related ingredients. I did a full deep dive on the ingredients here. I'm just putting a dab on the face with this trial. My face is just red because I wiped the crap out of it, so disregard. It has a patented tannins complex that's supposed to control sebum production. Water first, lots of fatty acids up front to retain moisture. Then there were a lot of solvents. Some things in there that were supposed to help glide. There's no silicone in here. You know, gives you the slip that you really want from a silicone, but you don't want the silicones possibly. Titanium dioxide is also in the middle of the list, by the way, if you're interested in that. Some people do not want that. I'm okay with it, but you do you. I am not a cosmetic chemist by any stretch of the imagination. I've just tried hundreds of products, and by the way, if you want to look at the current favorites of the bunch, you can check them out on Britt's Picks. It's back on the website. Anti-caking agents, things that were supposed to increase and decrease viscosity. I did see sodium hyaluronate, things like that to retain moisture inside quite a bit. And then towards the end, you see some antioxidants and you see some other extracts like coffee extract, safflower extract, green tea extract. It's all in there. So first I'm going to apply it with the sponge. Overall for ingredients, I'm not seeing any lack of transparency, which is always what I look for. Clean can be really misleading because there's no clear definition of what that means. Just FYI, if someone's going to tell you that it's non-toxic and clean, like that's not regulated by anybody really. So just wanted you guys probably know that if you're here. Moving on to application. The claim is that this is going to melt into the skin for an easy, effortless, everyday look, and it's supposed to have long lasting, where the claim to fame here is that it is safe enough to sleep in. It is tested by dermatologists as well. I'm sure some of us probably sleep in our makeup now and then, but I don't recommend it, and I rarely do it because I always want to get this stuff off my face by the end of the day, but I think they're using that wisely in their marketing. Overall, I feel like it does melt into the skin, as you can see. It's not giving me a lot of separation. It's not giving, I mean, the sponge helps because it lifts a lot of product. I'm going to try a kabuki brush on the other side. I think it follows through on application. It's very easy to use, not tricky, not sticky, none of that. So it received a 4 out of 5 on application. By the way, they do have a sale at the time of posting this. That's kind of why I wanted to rush this through. So if any of you wanted to get your hands on it, I believe it's 30% off. Use the link in the description to get that. I love when timing works out. So this is the BK Beauty 101 brush that everybody's talking about on TikTok right now. It is good. I also love the Thick Glow Teddy brush, just saying. They're both great options. But back to coverage. So medium buildable coverage, and the brand, I love that they did this. So they recommend different ways of doing it. You can use it as a skin tint as you can most foundations, not any foundation. Or you can use it as a medium to full coverage foundation. So I'm working it in with the brush on this side. The brush is really how you get the stronger coverage. The sponge is going to lift more, so it's going to give you a little bit of a lighter coverage situation. Absolutely found that to be true. And you can pretty much see on camera here, it's a little dark, sorry guys, but you can pretty much see what's going on. So I've been trying this out for at least 2 weeks. These aren't like one and done reviews without any information about how they wear and performance, but I remember liking the sponge better just because of the type of application I like. Plus, if you get really, really up close here, there's no separating, but there's just a teeny tiny bit of texture on the skin, which I'm not crazy about. I'm just gonna do a little bit on the forehead. My skin's extra dry right now. It's just winter and it's pissed about something. Yeah, that's a little bit more texture than I'd like to see. And then we'll just sponge it in on this side. It just looks better. It might be, you can see the coverage a little bit better, and some of you might be going, I like the coverage on this side better. So I get it, but up close, it's dark out, or else I would do a natural light moment for you. It's not sitting as naturally as I would like it to, but overall coverage 4 out of 5 as well. So for finish, let's just try and build with the sponge and see how that looks. The claim is that it's a weightless glass skin finish. They don't say dewy. They don't say shiny. I don't know why anybody would say shiny. They say glass skin. Started to separate a bit upon building. Something else I want to try is just pressing it in with your finger. This reminds me so much of the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation. That only worked on my skin, which is combination skin, I'd say mature 40s. Pressing it in with the finger ended up just being the way for me and my skin, and that actually worked really well. So if you do try and build it up and you're seeing some texture where you don't want to see it, just try and press it in lightly with your finger. It actually worked really nicely. This doesn't happen all the time. I think my skin's just a little bit dry, so that's what's causing it. Finish, 4 out of 5. I think it gives you a glassy kind of skin texture. There's definitely a glow, and there's not a lot of tackiness at all to the touch test. It's really, really, really lightweight. Really lightweight, honestly. So I could see that being a benefit if you kind of like want to sleep in your foundation, which again, I do not recommend. And finally, we're going to talk about the good old wear test. So everything was sort of rolling along here. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to compare it for you to 2 others really quickly. Everything was going well. We're having a great old time. And then by the end of the day, I found this to pull and suck a little bit more moisture than I wanted it to out of my skin. A little moisture. The reason I think it was doing that for my skin is that there's something that ends with C-A-N-E, cane. And it is isododecane. It helps that formula glide. It's, I think, again, not a cosmetic chemist, but I think that's what the brand is trying to do to get some slip there that you get mainly from silicones, I believe. If I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, brand. But that tends to irritate me. It's in the Kosas foundation as well, which is a serum foundation. Pretty much everything's a serum foundation. And it can mess with my skin also. Sodium hyaluronate, which I believe is a smaller particle size, so it can penetrate more deeply, and it just retain all of this product inside to retain moisture. Sometimes it doesn't work for my skin, or it has to be adequately hydrated skin for that to work. I'm going to put the Saie Serum Foundation on the left side. I wasn't in love with the finish here. I know a lot of people flipped for it. This is in shade 8. I could not get this to not have texture on my skin, but it's the same consistency. The True Skin Serum, like I mentioned, is another one you might want to look at. A little bit thicker, more expensive though. I believe it's $54. I can't believe I remembered that. Oh my God, I'm right. The Saie foundation is $40, so it's less expensive, but then I'm going to show you on the right side a previous favorite of mine that I think is a beautiful option that's also incredibly eco-friendly. So I think for those 2 reasons, the Youthforia is a great foundation in a lot of ways, but for me and my skin, it just wasn't a great wear test, which is kind of a deterrent. Okay, let's look at the Saie. You're going to see a little bit more coverage, I think, with the Saie, more opacity. Actually, no, that doesn't look really bad. You could see that it really covered nicely. This one I don't think was the best wear test on me, but right about now it's looking pretty good compared to how red this looks on camera. I can still see a little bit of texture. Not terrible, but when I used the brush It was different. There's a whole review on that if you want to see it. The whole scorecard review, I will link to that below. The final score with the Youthforia was 15 out of 20. Now, I really liked it actually. I thought it was a great product. I just don't think for my skin it was the best option, but I can absolutely keep using it. I just need to really hydrate the skin if I'm going to be using it. I also like that it's in a glass container, consciously created in a lot of different ways. But what I want to show you is from Mob Beauty. This is the palette. Now they have separates that you can get. This is their Ceramide Blurring Foundation. This is the cream foundation. This was my trick. I put a drop of an oil. This is actually not just an oil. This is the Typology Vitamin C I want to say Illuminati, but they're glow drops. Okay, that sounds better than Illuminati. And then you just take the brush, you blend it onto this little doodad right there. It's real pretty looking. This is what it looks like when you use the makeup, guys. It's what it looks like. It's reality. And then watch. I mean, definitely has some skincare in it with the ceramide. Blurs, it's not the same level of coverage, but you can just keep building this puppy up. I'm actually going to take the Fit Glow brush because it's a little bit softer, which I like for this. Man, this compact has looked better. I will say that. Yeah, I like this brush better for it. It's just a softer bristle. Feels really great also going on. Granted, they all feel pretty good. Not gonna lie. And they're pretty similar shades, or else I wouldn't be comparing them because it can be a little confusing. But it does this blurring thing, you know? It does this blurring thing, and I really like it. Feels like nothing on the skin. Yeah, foundations look pretty similar, or they can. But when you really dig into the details, you kind of get a feel. Either way, when it comes to foundations, it's going to be three main qualifiers that you're going to either look at it or not, or consider it or not. That's going to be your shade range, your price, and the ingredients, and whether or not they work for your skin. Take a look at the ones that I've used in here. The Youthforia, obviously, again, I think it's a solid foundation. And then you have the Saie and you have the Mob Beauty. Did I mention that that's $20? But you do get 30% off of Youthforia right now. So what do you think? Do we like the Mob? Do we like the Saie? Or are we like, you know what? I really liked the Youthforia in the beginning. Have you tried any of these? I would love for you to share your experience and also include your skin type in there. If you want to check out other foundations that I have reviewed, honestly, always honest over here, then check out the playlist that'll pop on the screen in a few seconds. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe so you never miss a thing over here, and I will see you right back here real soon. Until then, bye.